Here I am, and there you are. There I am, and here you are. Sending you peace, power, prosperity, and protection from the coronavirus. My topic today is we have to write our own script, make our own story, our own narrative. There's a story, there's an editorial in Ebony Magazine. There's an Ebony Magazine from the year 1955. 1955, Miss Ebony Magazine. Editorial from that long ago that had common sense and things have not changed so much since then. And this article is about Carmen Jones. That was this editorial. Someone wrote, I have observed in the Negro press that there are those who are critical of various phases of the Negro-dominated movie, Carmen Jones, for this superb effort in movie making dedicated to the talents of an entire Negro cast. I have nothing but highest praise. Speaking of complete authenticity in all respects, I say, show me any Hollywood production that depicts complete authenticity in all areas, no matter how long the period of research preceding the actual shooting of the film or how costly the production. Now, as to the strangling scene, I did not see the scene as anything other than the revelation of a budding dramatic star in the person of Harry Belafonte, giving more experience on the stage and screen. Belafonte has far greater potentiality as a star of death than that particular scene was capable of indicating. But here is the kicker of what he's writing about. I think that it is time that wealthy Negroes invest some of their own money in the production of Negro movies in order that some of the hidden talents of Negro dramatists personae may be used to show a more accurate picture of Negro life. In these race in these race conscious United States, where Hollywood is a chief organ of the propaganda of racial inequality, it is highly improbable that white producers would do a complete about face and produce a complimentary movie showing Negroes as equal in the delicate and intricate art of daily dignified living. Read that again. It is highly improbable that white producers would do a complete about face and produce a complimentary movie showing Negroes as equal in the delicate and intricate art of daily dignified living. Okay, and that was written, as I said, in 1955, as I've shown you from Ebony magazine of 1955. And did we involve in our thinking and our behavior since that? Expecting producers. Now they have produced certain things like the Real Housewife of Atlanta or Married to Medicine. But there was in the 80s, well in the 50s, starting in the 50s, when they had shows just such as Amos and Annie. I remember that. I used to hurry from school to watch that show because that's the only time you could see Edie Black on television. Then they also had a show called Beulah. Now, Amos and Annie, Kingfish or Annie, were unemployed. And they were the leading character of that show. Those two black men who were unemployed in Amos and Annie. Beulah, she had a dignified job as a maid, but she was subservient to the Caucasian family, the white family she was employed by. But she was the star of one show, Beulah. They had a Nat King Cole had his show for a while on television. Only last one season. The same as for Sammy Davis Jr. His show has one season. And now in the 80s, come up to the 80s, there's shows like 227. The most successful show, and shows like The Cosby Show, which was very successful. And it shows black people in a more dignified light. Then they had The Jeffersons also showing people in a more prosperous frame, dignified way of living. Of course, Good Times, which was a comical show, and A Different World, showing HBCU. And it said that more people start going to HBCU after seeing A Different World. But before that, like I said, in the 50s, every family, black family, when they see a black person, they call everybody to say, hey, there's a black person on television. The only time you could see a black person on television perhaps it was on the Ed Sullivan show on Sunday at 8 o'clock. You always had, he was Jewish, but he always had one black act. Always, every Sunday. Because there were other shows like, but that was during the 50s. And so now you look today, but we still have to produce our own show. And then BET was a game changer. Are we really writing our own narrative? And you think about the movie Black Panther. At first, they wanted Ava DuVernay to direct that show, that movie. And if she did, I doubt that it would be as successful as it was. She would have brought her feminine energy to it. Nothing wrong with feminine energy, but it was useless in a superhero type action movie like the Black Panther. And it's by default that the white producers picked a young black director. It was a young black director. And those things, his answer, he was young, he was black, and he was a male. And that called for success in a type of superhero movie, like the Black Panther. But that was not their first choice. They wanted a female director, Ava DuVernay. But she was busy on another project, and so she was unable to do it. We have to direct our own life, not only in the movies, but in life itself. We are what we think we are. we can achieve what we think we can. We can and must build our own nation of people. Now, there's interesting when you look on even on YouTube, the amount of foreign or black females in interracial marriage, and most of them from seem like most of them is from Africa, the Caribbean, and they on YouTube. That's and it's interesting. And interesting, my observation too, the amount of African females on YouTube. So many are very, very good and interesting program, creative, interesting, political, serious stuff. And then they got the people, those who are spoiled, and many number other people are African and female. Very interested. But anyway, the main point I wanted to make, we have to have our own narrative, script our own life, the personal way and in the collective way. That's why in the beginning I said, I send you, and you can accept it, peace, prosperity, power, and protection from this coronavirus. And just as they tried to script our life, I script other people's life. Because I envision in Europe, in America, millions of dead people in the streets. That's how I script their life. I envision their life. Millions and millions of them. Soon and very soon, dead bodies, Europe, Asia, in the streets. Watch for it. And it is so. Can I?